So here is just an example of how the kit actually looks itself. So it's placed in a gold box to begin with. It's also accompanied by a purple folder, as you can see. The kit consists of 3 different lesson materials, as you can see. They're all grouped together. And throughout this video, I'll be demonstrating how you can use each of these 3 physical resources within the kit. So right here, I'm just demonstrating the 2 charts. There's actually a master chart and then there's a challenge chart, showing both the master chart and the challenge chart within these frames. This is now demonstrating the chart in use. So there's the master chart and there's the challenge chart. So now what I'm going to show you is one of the components within the chart. So that'd be aligning the actual information on the chart. So right now, just one of the components of this chart. So that would be recognizing whether it's the action, or a Bible verse that relates to each component of the chart. The chart as a whole relates to reconciliation as a whole. So it's dealing with what actually happens during reconciliation. So within the chart, we have penance itself. We also have absolution, as you can see, I'm moving that there, and then at the beginning, confession. So each one has a verse, and it also has an action other than penance. Penance would just be the summary there. Each 3 of the physical resources included in the kit are actually laminated. They're tactile and durable. In saying this, as you can see, there are also images accompanying this set for the chart. There's only 2 for here, but they're related to the action verses. The reason they are there for the action verse is to give a little hint to the students, as right now I've just shown you the master chart. However, on the challenge chart, it may be harder for students to decipher which ones actually go where, as I will now demonstrate. It was really important for me to create 3 physical resources so that students would be able to be given a choice. Although most of the resources actually align with each other, it's keeping in line with the curriculum as well, of course. There is variation between each 3 of the resources, however there is also a lot of crossover. So the chart was used as a mutual understanding for reconciliation to build that foundation of knowledge for the students before they move on to the other 2 resources. However, you could do the other 2 resources first and then the reconciliation charts. Here is just me showing the unpacking of the second resource. These are the purple cards. Now with the purple cards, they are actually self-assessment, so students will be asked to pick 3 out of each. Here's just me showing them. As you can see, there's a picture of Jesus holding a lamb. That is also significant within Christianity, so I decided I would include that symbol in the bottom right corner of each card. The purple is also significant on the cards, as it is the symbol for Lent, which is really important for reconciliation, as it's a time that we self-assess and give up some of our wrongful ways. This is now the 3rd resource that I will be showing, and these are the white cards. So these white cards are able to be used as a whiteboard on the back, as I will demonstrate later in the video. Included in the kit was also a wipe and a pen, so that students are able to write down their thoughts for each card. In saying this, students are asked to analyse their behaviour in the classroom and why it would be considered a sin and how it takes away from the glory of God. So they can actually write down their answers on the back of these cards, and when they write the answers down on the back of these cards, they can then wipe away the sin. So they're technically absolving their own sin metaphorically by wiping it away. So it's making a link to the priest being able to step in along with Jesus to be able to remove that sin. Here I'm just demonstrating what the students will actually be doing. So there's actually 24 of the white cards, so 24 options they can choose from. We ask students to pick 3 cards of which relates to them the most, or which they'd like to learn about and reflect on the most themselves. So we're giving them again that choice so they can follow and develop their own faith whilst keeping in line with the curriculum. So these 3 cards, like I said before, will be able to be used with the whiteboard marker along with the wipe So as you can see, these are the 3 cards that I selected during the demonstration, and on the back they are also white. The next demonstration will be showing me writing on the cards itself on the back. So this is just a little demonstration of how a student might use these cards within the classroom. So students are asked to write down their thoughts, aligning with the questions written on the cards, of course. And then from this is obviously just an example. This is just showing how the resource itself works. So you can then grab the wipe and wipe the cards. So the reason that the cards are laminated is 1 for durability, but 2 for the practical side of the classroom, so that students are actually able to write on them, and it gives them a sense of their own miniature whiteboard. It may take some work just to get that little bit of ink off that's left over, but other than that, it's really good. Students are then asked to put it back into the box the same way they found them when they are finished with every one of the 3 resources, which I will demonstrate later how these resources are packed up. As you can see, the card is now clean following the wipe, and there is the pen and the wipe again. Now I'm just showing the 24 purple cards again. So students are then asked to select 3 cards in a similar way to the white cards and reflect and engage with the questions. So these are self-evaluation questions. Students are given the option whether to write in their exercise books, and if they would not like to write in their exercise books rather than have it physically written down, as we know that discussing our own sin may be confrontational at times, we're also asked students that they are allowed to reflect on it personally. There will be a discussion time at the end of the lesson for students to voice their thoughts and opinions, and if they were dealing with anything themselves, just to consolidate that learning towards the end. So then again, that's me showing how the 24 cards can be packed up, and there's also demonstrating the ones that I selected. These cards are not to be written on, unlike the white cards. Here is me demonstrating how you can actually put the resource back together itself in the way that you found it, the same way that we'd ask students to put it back together. So we're just going to demonstrate of how we'd put the chart back inside the purple folder. So you'd just open up the folder as normal, grab your 2 master charts, and then place those master charts and the challenge chart within the folder itself. So this folder is obviously accompanied by the box itself, and the box itself was selected for durability as well as the folder to preserve these resources so they can be used multiple times, along with lamination of all of the physical resources. Here is just me packing away one of the 3 physical resources included in this kit. So once again, we're just going to line up the cards in a neat, tidy manner. We're going to place them in a snap lock plastic bag so they don't get lost, damaged or scratched during the process of packing them away. And we're just going to simply fold that in half so that way there's less air in the bag, and it's also more compact when we put it in the purple box. So then we've just aligned it. We do the same thing with the purple cards themselves, and then place the whiteboard marker on top of the wipe itself. And here's me just aligning the charts. So these were the materials for the chart, so that's just tied off using a tie, and we just slide that over, and that's how that stays in there. So when it came to the longer responses for the chart, we just place them in on top or under the pen, So it's going to put them under the pen there. And then with these smaller responses, as they're likely to be lost by students at times, we ask students to place them back in the bag so they don't get lost or damaged within the bag. We don't do this with the longer sections of the responses, that being the right side of the chart compared to the left that's in the snaplock bag, because of the way that it actually fits in the box itself. It's just easier this way, and that would be a band that's made of, it's an elastic band that's going around the box, and that's tied off over the top of the box to finish. So that would be the physical resource packed up and ready to use again for the next student. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed all 3 resources. Thank you.